Welcome to this beautiful time of celebration. I want to introduce Amy Tomczak. Is
Tom.
that correct? And Catherine Bass. And my name is Becky Norwood. I'm with Spotlight Publishing House, and I've had the joy and the honor and the privilege of being able to work with the bringing of this book. Hold your book up, ladies. Bringing this book to the world. Unbreakable Spirit, 18 Stories of Feminine Resilience, Blessings, and Renewal. And Amy and Catherine, we're both shared a chapter in this book, and we want to have that conversation about what what made you decide, yes, I want to be involved in this. And we'll start with you, Amy.
Oh, absolutely. It's so wonderful to be here with you, Becky. I'm so excited about this book. And, I had a story about some of my midlife journey that I had wanted to share. And I was doing it in little ways with people or, sharing a talk with people, but I really wanted to write it. I really wanted it to be in the written word. And so this was a wonderful opportunity to work with you and Laura and Hyla and have that dream come true.
Beautiful. Yep. And it is a dream. And it's so many of us want to do these things, but we don't know where that starting point is or how to go about getting it out there and doing all the things that need to be done in order to do it in a beautiful way. How about for you, Kathy?
Yes, writing has always been a dream of mine. It was one of those. I'll do it when I retire and I have, all the time in the world. Then I can write and share all my stories when I have time. But someone said, "Hey, here's an opportunity to be a part of the book," and I didn't know, where I was going to go with it or what was going to happen. But I just grabbed on, and here I am, and I am so excited. And thank you, Becky and Laura and Hyla and everyone and the other authors, everything. I think it's just so beautiful how everything came out and all the support of everyone has just been beautiful. So I'm just so excited.
Oh, that's beautiful. So what was the biggest thing that spurred growth for you and change for you in this whole process of bringing your chapter to the world?
I think for me, it was being visible, both not only having my chapter in the book, but actually having my art on the cover as well.
Yeah.
My painting Visionary really was a dream come true and kind of represents the theme for me of writing my chapter and sharing it, which was remembering who I truly am from going through a very challenging and difficult menopausal and midlife portal, I call it, to being able to access through my journey that I share in my chapter, access my true authentic self again and my creative power that I'd been cut off from for many, many years.
Beautiful. And for you, Kathy?
Yes, the same thing. As far as I love that I'm getting my story out there. My original theory was that I was going to write my money story, and it was going to be all about taxes and how I got where I'm at today. And then little did I know, once I started the process of writing, that it was going to become this healing and this huge process of growth for me that I had no idea that I needed. Being a widow, it was very hard to, and menopause and everything else is like I'm having to recreate myself in so many different ways. And this book just going to help me see myself for who I am and my authentic self, like Amy said. And I just think it's beautiful that we're sharing all our authentic stories.
Oh, beautiful. And it's so incredible to really explore so many different sides of ourselves that sometimes we don't recognize and haven't given the attention to till we start putting pen to paper and saying, wow, this is really, really something. So, Kathy, the name of your chapter is
Frontiers to Temper.
And share a little bit about your story.
So I tell the story of the day my husband died, and then also how I grew and transformed through my grief, which I thought it was going to go the other direction, and I was just going to have to deal with the pain and suffering for the rest of my life without my husband. But I learned through this process that I have the mind, body, and soul that will get me through this. And if I just grab on to who I am, then I will make it through. And so here we are.
Beautiful. Um, I have a little quote out of your chapter, and it says, "The death of my husband shattered my world, but it also became the catalyst that sparked real, lasting change in my life. As painful as it was, it forced me to face the patterns that had kept me stuck for years. And through that uncomfortable work, I found the profound healing and transformation that I needed." So beautifully written. And isn't it amazing to think about how many other women have faced the very same challenges? And some of them stay stuck for a very, very long time, and others make that decision to rise above it. And, to think about what it's going to be like when somebody picks up and opens the book and there's your chapter, and it's just the message they needed to hear. Beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
didn't hear that after writing that. It's very, I reached into my soul to tell the story. It was hard to tell my husband's story. I struggled with putting it out there, But his famous words to me were, "I'll be dead, so who cares?" So I just have taken that to heart and said, "Okay, well, you gave me permission, so thank you."
Very good. And tell us about your chapter, Amy.
My chapter is called "Stepping Away from the Ledge, Coming Home to Myself." And in my chapter, I share my journey of really going through a very, very difficult midlife period of time where I had been a caregiver to my mother for 10 years. She had, a slow dementia, progressively worsening. And I had come to a point where there were multiple things that had happened. It was also during COVID. For many of us, such a challenging time. And I really had lost myself, and I had lost a connection with who I was. I have no regrets about caring for my mother for all that time. I loved her very much, but often in midlife, we reach a point where we're just maxed out. We've been playing roles for many years that don't fit anymore. And for me, that was what was happening. And I came to a very painful point of considering actually ending my life, and was actually really gifted by a powerful dream that helped me to re-access what I think of as my soul, my spirit, my creative spirit, that reminded me of a part of who I was, which then, as I share in the story, helped me to reconnect and rebirth myself into this next chapter of my life.
Beautiful. Wow. We all have our stories, don't we? Yeah. It's being willing to open our eyes and our hearts and our minds to a whole different way. Because what are the alternatives, truly?
Right.
And we don't want those alternatives. I have a quote from your chapter. It says, "The journey has been a return, a reclamation, a divine unfolding into the fullness of who I am. I am deeply grateful for this life-saving dream that began it all, a leap off the edge into the unknown, and a soft landing in that colorful nest. The flower bed of support and love became the symbol of my transformation. I know now when I trust myself and the divine, I come home to myself and who I really am." That is beautiful.
Mm.
Truly, the words that you put together that could convey the story, both of you, that to convey the story in a way that it could touch hearts and make a lasting impact. And we've kind of got like a body of water, and we're putting our pebbles in and making those ripples out into the world. When somebody picks up your chapter, what is the biggest thing, Amy, you would like them to gain as they read your chapter?
I would like my reader to feel a sense of hope and connection, and reminding her that who she really is matters and is important, and that deep inside, below the conditioning, she has a beautiful, juicy, creative spirit, whatever creativity means to her. It doesn't mean you have to be an artist, but it's finding that life spark, that joy that is there. And I'm hoping to remind her, if she's feeling depleted, burned out, and just ready to just say, I'm so exhausted, because menopause unfortunately brings some of that as well, those hormonal changes that we go through. I'm hoping that she will feel seen, not alone, and some hope.
Beautiful. Tell us about the work that you do in the world right now.
Yeah, so I'm a psychotherapist. I've been working with clients for about 20 years. I'm also an artist, or a reclaimed artist, a dancer, and I teach meditation. And I also teach a really wonderful painting process called intentional creativity painting, which is sort of what I call an art as medicine process. It's a process where we allow ourselves to open up the right and left sides of the brain and allow the creative flow to happen without necessarily planning or knowing or allowing our inner critic or the things that limit us from getting in the way. And so I've been doing that for the last 4 or 5 years, the painting work, which has been incredible. And I teach both online and in person.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really joyful.
That's awesome. And Kathy, what is your work in the world today?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
What is your work? What do you do?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm an enrolled agent. I do. I'm a tax preparer. I founded my own business 20 years ago, Bass Tax Service, and so I help people with their taxes. And then life threw me into widowhood, and I've been struggling with that for 6 years, and trying to figure out my new place in this world. Who am I? And so here I am, writing my chapter and trying to share my story.
Beautiful. On the back of the book, the very back cover, it has the words, story is medicine. And you talked about art being medicine. Let's talk about story as medicine and why those words are so important. We'll start with you, Amy.
Yeah, our stories are so important and so powerful. The unique stories of each of us that has contributed to our unique lives and voices and perspectives and wisdom. And I think stories and reading stories and sharing stories and claiming stories, right, through our expression of them, is really the deepest human medicine to remember our souls, to remember our reasons for being here, to remember the meaning of our lives that we can sometimes lose when we're, amidst all the external, I can say, distractions, right? So I really see stories as the purest medicine.
Absolutely. Yeah. Beautiful. And courageous prayer. For you, Kathy, what do those words mean to you? Courage as prayer.
Yes, definitely. I prayed my way to here, to my healing. It definitely helped get me here. I was confused for a long time about my place with my religion and God. But through my grief, I just kind of grabbed on to the few things I had that in my life that I could rely on, and the Bible just happened to be one of them. So I just started reading the Bible, and I just found so much peace and love, and I felt God's arms wrap around me every time I read it. And I was scared to go out into the world being an introvert, so it just kind of gave me the power to get my voice, and that, wait, I have something to share with the world too. Just because I don't want to go out there doesn't mean I can't, participate. So anyways, that was my answer.
Your voice matters. All of our voices matter. And that's, I think, the underlying message behind the sharing of these stories in this way is that those that pick up this book, the one thing we want them to understand is that their voice matters. And all of a sudden they're not as alone anymore, because sometimes when we're in the midst of our own stuff, we don't really give a lot of what's happening. We don't give a lot of thought to that there might be other people that have gone through the same thing. We don't realize it, and then we can pick up a book like this and read a story, and it's so applicable to where we are in our life. And this is the purpose. It says, medicine for the heart and for the spirit, testifying to the power of our resilience, grace, and grit. I recommend this offering wholeheartedly. And that was from Christina Sell, author of My Body is a Temple. And I've been so impressed because this book has made international #1 bestseller. There's a lot of nice reviews coming, and that is just thrilling because there's so much behind how to make a book successful and be seen out in the world. And you ladies got to be a big part of this contribution to our beautiful world. And so,
absolutely. I was reading a couple of the reviews, and several people said something like, "It's like being in a women's circle and hearing these stories, and then feeling less alone and more, sense of well-being and being seen." So it's a beautiful gift, this book.
it is a beautiful gift, and a gift to yourselves, actually, to be able to really honor yourselves by taking the time to put pen to paper. And I think it's one of the most healing things that a person can ever do for themselves.
Absolutely.
And also, sorry, I wanted to say that this whole process has been so transforming, as we've already said, but it was funny how when we were writing, we were so involved in our own stories, but we were gathered as a group of women and supported one another. But I didn't really, even though I heard what their stories were going to be about, until I read the book and these interviews, it's really bringing it to life. And I'm feeling the connection just that much stronger with all the women, because now it's like my stories and all these stories. There's a piece of me with all these women. And that's just the beauty of this. So it's like it went from being in our little cocoon to now we're butterflies flying out into the world, and we're just showing everybody you can do it too.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Yes, and so the overall, for the big picture of this book project, celebrate that your heart said yes to being a part of this, and that you're playing not just a little tiny role, a very big role in our world of making a difference. So congratulations to both of you. Yeah, very good. Well, that concludes our interview for today, but I want to thank both of you for being here with us today. Beautiful.